monsoon month in Braj or in India. Okay, so in Vrindavan, nobody calls Balaram as Balaram. Huh? They don't call Balaram as Balaram. They call him what? Huh? What is the sweet name of Balaram in Vrindavan?
Dauji.
They call him Dauji Baya, Dauji Maharaj ki Jai. So that is the local name. Nobody calls him Balaram. Dauji means Dau means elder, and Baya means brother. So that the relationship is, he is the brother, the elder brother. So everyone calls him our elder brother, like Kuya, brother. So they call him Dauji Baya. So that is the special relationship of Brajabasi to Balaramji. Baya, Krishna Kaneya, Dauji ke Baya. So this is the local chant when they want to address Krishna and Balaram. Krishna Kaneya. Kaneya means what? Kana. So this is another nickname of Krishna. Kana. Kana means blackish. You know? The friends of Krishna, they always call him Kana. Like maitim, black. Hey, black boy. So this is how their relationship with Krishna. Krishna Kaneya. And Dauji Kebaya. Dauji, our elder brother, big brother. Okay. So, before we go deep into the Braj Leela of Balaram, let us go first how Balaram appeared, no, in Brajabhumi, in earthly Vrindavan. So, from Krishna, his first ever expansion is who? Balaram. So Krishna expanded himself into another personality. Krishna and Balaram is one. But because Krishna wanted to experience the servitude, the service, the Seva Leela, he expanded himself as Balaram. So Balaram, he has nothing to do. All he has to do is to serve Krishna and assist him in his pastime. Here in Brajabhumi, or Brajabhumi means Vrindavan in Bhumi. Bhumi means earth. Huh? Yeah, that's why when we are going to construct a new house or a temple, first we have to do Bhumi Puja. First we have to worship planet Earth. So Mother Earth or Mother Bhumi. So the first expansion of Krishna is Balaram. And from Balaram, the whole existence in material world expanded and manifested. Huh? So Krishna has internal potency. This internal potency of Krishna is divided into three. What are those three divisions of his spiritual internal potency? Haladini Shakti, Sambit Shakti, and Sandini Shakti. Who is Haladini Shakti? Who is Haladini Shakti? Huh? The pleasure-giving potency of Krishna. Who? Radharani. So Radharani is the personification of Haladini Shakti. She is the presiding deity of Haladini Shakti of Krishna. The pleasure-giving potency. So Krishna experienced pleasure. Like now the highest pleasure one can give personified. The only one personality who can give the highest pleasure is the Haladini Shakti of Krishna. That is Radharani. And Sambit Shakti is the knowledge-giving potency. Who is the knowledge-giving? Sandini Shakti. That is Balaram. So Balaram is the Sandini Shakti. Everything that exists in the material world is the expansion of Balaram. So from Krishna, so now after that, Krishna has nothing to do in total manifestation of the material universe and spiritual affairs. Balaram is in charge of that. Because Krishna is just interested in what? With this pastime, with his covered body. Vasudev. They are 400, that's why they call it Chatur Vyuha. You know, in Srimad Bhagavatam, you take the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, you see, in the front cover, you will see all the Chaturvyuha. The whole material manifestation was created. From Chaturvyuha, what happens next? Mahavishnu came. Mahavishnu is called as who? Karanadukasa Vishnu. Then from Karanadukasa Vishnu, who? From Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, who else? Nrsimha Avatar, Ram Avatar, Baba Avatar, Buddha Avatar, Kalki Avatar. So all of these avatars, they all came from Balaram. So without Balaram, there's nothing exists in the material world. Because Balaram his main duty is to serve Krishna. So Balaram expands himself as the flute of Krishna, the crown of Krishna, the yellow dhoti of Krishna, as Ananta says, his bed, and the whole Vrindavan. That is the expansion of Balaram. So Balaram's duty is to serve Krishna and to assist him and support him in his a student of Mirdanga or a worshipper of Mirdanga. So others they just want to become a student, but the teacher will teach you how to become a worshipper of Mirdanga, not just a player. Because why? Because Mirdanga is an expansion of Balaram. So you have to consider it as nothing, as not different from Balaram. Okay. So now let us. So we will try to divide our katha in three different parts. First, we talk about Balaram. Then we talk about the appearance of Krishna. Then a little bit about Julan Yatra. At least we understand what we are doing. Okay. Okay. So Devaki and Vasudeva, as we all knew how that the other, so he agreed as the chariot driver of Devaki. So while Kamsa was driving the chariot, then suddenly what happened? There is a voice in the sky. What the voice told them? What he said? Those who read. So what does the voice said when they were driving? When Kamsa was driving the chariot of Vasudeva and Devaki, there was a voice. I will kill you. So see, at the first moment, Kamsa is very gentle. He was showing his love for his sister. But at the moment that the sister will interfere in his self-gratification, immediately his mood changes. Immediately he became so ruthless. So the demoniac nature of Kamsa, he gave him so many philosophical points. But because he is a demon and he is angry, he will not listen. So at least he knows that Kamsa is a politician and Vasudeva also knows how to deal with politicians. So he made a deal. Okay, I will give you the 8th child of Krishna. So for now on, Devaki is not a threat to you because she will not kill you. She is not the cause of your death, but the child. So all your children will be presented to you. That is my promise. And because Vasudeva is a man of honor, Kamsa believed in his word. Okay. So now what happened? The first child, so let us go forward, the first child was born from Devaki. So Vasudeva presented it to Kamsa. And what does Kamsa did? He killed it? No, not yet. Not yet. What happened? What did Kamsa do? What happened? What did Kamsa do? Why? Okay. So Kamsa said, what I will do with the first child? It is the 8th child who will kill me. Then after that, what happened? Who came? Sinisulsul.
Narada.
May mga nagbubuyo-buyo.
Narada.
Who?
Narada
Narada Muni. No, Narada Muni is a troublemaker. Don't trust him. Although he is in a dress of a devotee, he always chant the names of Krishna, but he is a troublemaker. He will he will always put you in trouble. So what does he say? Huh?
He said, how can you know the first or eighth time will be you? So, will the eighth will come in the first.
This is what he said. You know, the demigods already took birth in the family of Yadu dynasty. So you don't know what is that counting. Maybe they will count from the last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or they will begin in the middle. So you don't know. They are fooling you. They are very tricky. The demigods are very tricky. They can kill you anytime. Then after this, so Kamsa became disturbed. So what he did, he consulted his ministers. Now, because his ministers are all demoniac, what they advise? They advise him to kill, imprison Vasudeva and Devaki, and kill all the child. So immediately, so this is what happened. When Vasudeva presented the child, Kamsa said, I don't need that. No need. Just return. It will not harm you. Then Vasudeva went out and he said, I don't trust this Kamsa, because at any time his mind will change. And what happened? Immediately changes his mind. So what he did? He imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki and started smashing. He became ruthless, heartless. He smashed the newborn child in the back of his home like that. And in front of that child's mother and father. So imagine how demoniac Kamsa is. Then, year by year, consecutive, Kamsa is killing all the child, second child, third child, fourth child, fifth child, sixth child, bus. So, who are these 6 children of Devaki? Why they have to suffer like this? Anyone knows? Huh? You cannot remember? Okay. Let us go back to the story. So, there's one Muni, saintly person, Marichi Muni. He has 6 sons. And his 6 sons, they saw Brahma. Brahma was running after her daughter, Satyavati. And the 6 sons of Marichi Muni, they laughed at Lord Brahma. Oh, tingnan mo to. Pati yung sariling anak niya, pinag-interesan niya, tawanan sila ng tawa. Birth as the son of Kalanemi, demoniac family. But when they took birth as the son of Kalanemi, they realized their mistake. So they started worshipping Brahma. And their grandfather, he was so furious. You are a disgrace in our demoniac family. Why are you worshipping Brahma? I will curse you to take birth in the womb of Devaki. And your effect, the 6 sons of Marichi, as the 6 sons of Kalanemi, demonic Kalanemi, they took birth in the womb of Devaki. So one by one, they are being killed by their own father in their previous lives as Kamsa. So Kamsa before he was Kalanemi. So this was the curse. Okay. So now only the 6 children. Now when the 7th child started to manifest in the womb of Devaki, suddenly, you will see the difference, huh? 6 children, there's no symptoms or changes in the body of Devaki. But when the 7th child was there inside, suddenly there was a big change. He became so effulgent. He became so beautiful. He was shining. So now they understand that there is a divine manifestation inside the womb of Devaki. Huh? Because these 6 children, they're all coming from demoniac family. So, and now Krishna is going to take birth, is going to enter in the womb of Devaki. First, Balaram came. Why? Because he wanted to clear. He wanted to purify. He wanted to set up. Just like in the temple, no? During Janmashtami, when if we are going to receive new deities, we have to purify everything. We have to clean everything. You know, we use the countdown and all the. People will not enter into the room. Krishna will not enter into the house. What to speak of entering into the room? You know how many years Devaki performed tapasya in order for Krishna to take birth or to enter in his womb? She has to perform 10,000 years of tapasya, of penances. And you are only doing 5 years, 10 years of chanting of Hare Krishna, then you wanted Krishna to enter into your heart, to enter into your life. How could it be? First you have to purify. Because even Devaki is not an ordinary personality. Even she has to undergo so much purification. Okay. So, when everything is ready, by the potency of Yoga Maya is the internal potency of Krishna. She is the one in charge in the internal affairs in Christ. So, Krishna instructed Yoga Maya to transfer the child inside the womb of Devaki to the womb of who? Rohini. Now, who is Rohini? Who is Rohini? Mother Rohini.
The wife of Vasudeva. The wife of Vasudeva.
Wife of?
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva. Actually, Rohini is the first wife of Vasudeva. She is the first wife of Vasudeva.
Dalawa asawa niya.
So, because Vasudeva is a king, during that time, they are allowed multiple wives. So, Vasudeva, she has, first wife is Rohini, second wife is who? Devaki. And he also has other wives. So, because of the threat, because of the cruelty of Kamsa, Vasudeva asked his wife Rohini to take shelter in Braj. So, he told Rohini to go to Nanda Maharaj. Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj, they are best friends. Because Mathura, so Vasudeva is in Mathura and Nanda Maharaj is in Nandagaon, in Vrindavan. So, it's only like 50 kilometers apart. So, they are best friends. So, he asked Rohini, you can take shelter or hide in the house of Nanda Maharaj. They will take care of you. Okay, now, Rohini from Mathura, he is now living or staying in Vrindavan. Okay? So now, the seventh child, through the power and potency of the Yoga Maya, she transferred the seventh child in the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. So now Rohini, she is now carrying the seventh child. So they thought that Devaki has a miscarriage, no, like nakunan, no, because suddenly nothing was there. So then again, after that, again, something entered into the womb of Devaki, and that is the eighth child. So now, when the eighth child entered inside the womb of Devaki, again, Devaki manifested thousands of fold, extreme effulgence and divinity. So it means there is more. There is more what? More powerful personality inside the womb. Because it is multiplied thousandfold. So now they understand. They are carrying the Supreme Personality of God. See, in the beginning, even in the womb, they already knew, Devaki and Vasudeva, they already knew that they are carrying the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they have knowledge. That's why in Mathura, it is predominated with what? With Aswarya Ras, bound. So the mood, and the bar, the emotion in Mathura is covered with awe and reverence. Because Vasudeva and Devaki, they knew that God gave him Krishna, the supreme Godhead. Because they asked for it, they performed penances. They wanted Narayan or Krishna to be their own child. And now, this is what happened. So when Balaram took birth 8 days before Janmashtami, before Krishna. Okay? So now Balaram was born. But you know who gave the name to Balaram? Even though Krishna was haven't been born yet, Krishna gave the name to Balaram. It's only after Balaram took birth, both of them, they got the same, they were given name on the same day. Balaram and Krishna. By who? Who gave them the name? Who is their family guru? Kula guru? No, that is their educational guru, school guru, Gurukul teacher. Who is the family guru of Krishna Balaram? Garga Muni, Gargacharya. Okay. So they had to wait for Krishna. So when Balaram took birth, the guru, he did not immediately gave the name. They waited for Krishna. So now, this is now the confidential knowledge. So I already discussed this long time ago. Maybe some of you haven't heard this yet, because you can only hear this in Vrindavan. Okay. So now they are carrying the 8th child. So now, when the 8th child is about to born, in the middle of the night, what happened? No, not yet. What happened? Now, it's called midnight. How he was born? The guard, what happened to the guard and everybody? Yes, everyone fell asleep. Okay? Everyone fell asleep. So, who came out from Devaki? A baby Krishna or what? Who came out? Narayan born, no? So, from Devaki, the 400 form of Krishna came out. So that is not Krishna, that is Narayan. And he was fully equipped with matured men. He has crown, jewelries, wearing dhoti. He's like full-grown men. And what happened to Devaki and Vasudeva? What they did? Did Devaki breastfeed Narayan? What happened?
To be like a natural child.
No, first they offer obeisances. Because they understand that he is the Supreme God. They bow down. You will see the difference. Immediately they bow down to their son. Because Narayan was there. They knew that this is a Supreme Godhead. And now what they ask? They ask Narayan to appear like an ordinary child. So, to grant the wish of his parents, Krishna agreed to transform himself as a baby. Now what Krishna told Vasudeva? What he told? Okay, he told Vasudeva, bring me to Nandagaon, to Gokul, bring me to Gokul, actually in Gokul, and exchange me to the child of Yasoda Maya, because she also gave birth right now. So, okay, now, when Vasudeva carried small baby Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna, so what happened? All the doors of the prison cells were automatically opened. And when he came out, it was raining. So who appeared first? Who did he see? Balaram again. So this is another expansion of Lord Balaram. Another says, the snake, snake form, thousand-hooded snake. So Balaram served as an umbrella because it was raining. So when you can see in the painting, no, Vasudeva was carrying Krishna and there is a snake covering the overhead of Vasudeva. So now they have to cross the Yamuna because from Mathura there is Yamuna, then Gokul. First, the Yamuna is flooded. And suddenly, no, first it was normal. But when Vasudeva started walking in the Yamuna River, entering the Yamuna River, suddenly it increases the height. It becomes flooded. Why? Okay. Yan muna kaya, she understood that this is Krishna. So she wanted to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. So after touching the lotus feet of Krishna, what happened? She gave way to Vasudeva. It's like in the Bible story, no? In Moses ba yun? Si Moses. Bible scholar, that is Moises, no? Nag-hati yung dagat, no? Nakita, dahil pa ng basura sa ilalim. Okay. Dumating yung Greenpeace. Tinanggal nila. Okay. So now, Yamuna gave way. So Vasudeva can easily walk to the Yamuna. Okay. So now, after reaching Gokul, immediately Vasudeva went to the maternity house of Mother Yasoda. Because that is the place where Yasoda Maya gave birth. And Yasoda Maya, because she was so tired of giving birth, she fell asleep. She don't know what happened. She don't know if she gave birth to a girl or a boy or a twins or whatever. So now, this is the most secret thing. So according to Ananda Vrindavan Champo and Bhakti Ratnakara by Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti. So when Vasudeva entered to the maternity house, he saw Mother Yasoda was lying in a deep sleep. And he saw there is one baby girl. But in the description of the Brajabasis and in the description of the Acharya, they said, Mother Yasoda gave birth to the twins. One boy and one girl. One girl is who? Yoga Maya. And one boy is the original Krishna. Yasoda Maya. Yasoda Nandan Krishna. He is the Syama Sundar Krishna. Nandana Krishna. And Vasudeva was carrying Devaki Nandan Krishna, the son of Devaki. And that son of Devaki is Narayan. That is 400. And the original Krishna was born in the womb of Yasoda Nandan Krishna, Mother Yasoda. So, original Krishna was born to Mother Yasoda, not to Devaki. In Devaki, that is Narayan, that is Vasudeva Krishna. So now, Vasudeva did not see. He did not see that there is another born, the original Krishna. So, he took the baby girl. He exchanged. So, when he dropped the baby boy Krishna, the son of Devaki, it merges to the body of the original Krishna as Yasoda Nandan Krishna. Then they became one. So they became one. The Devaki Nandan Krishna merges to the Yasoda Nandan Krishna. And you know, in this maternity house of Mother Yasoda, the local says, Brajabasi said, that is also the place where the umbilical cord of Krishna was cut. So it means Krishna was born in what? Normal delivery. So he took birth in normal delivery because there was an umbilical cord. So they cut the umbilical cord in that place. And they also said, that place is also where Balaram appeared. And that is also the place where Yasoda Maya, Yoga Maya appeared. So all three sisters, all three siblings, Yoga Maya, Balaram, and Krishna, they all appeared on this place. And now what is this place? In Braj, there are three palaces of Nanda Maharaj. So he has one palace in Kamyaban. So Kamyaban is another forest in Vrindavan. Vrindavan has one forest. Vrindavan is only one. Kamyaban, Vrindavan, Badriban, Bahulaban, and all these different forests like Madhuban, Mahaban. Okay. So he has palace in Kamyaban. He has original palace also in Nandagaon. That is the ancestral house of Nanda Maharaj. And he also built palace in Gokul. Why he built palace in Gokul? Because when they were newlywed, Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj was already very old. They said he's already more than 50 years old. So they are thinking that it will be very difficult for him to beget a child. So Purnamasi Maya, she told Nanda Maharaj to go to near Yamuna and perform tapasya for 1 year, and they will beget a children. The same thing what he told Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, the parents of who? Radharani. So, the parents of Radharani, they established their own palace near Yamuna in Raban. And the parents of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they established their palace in Gokul. Okay, Gokul and Raban is just 1 kilometer apart. And Gokul to Vrindavan is around maybe 20 kilometers. And from Nandagaon, around 40 plus. Okay. So, in the house of Nanda Maharaj, in Gokul, they performed tapasya for 1 year. That's why they were given a boon of a child. So Krishna appeared. You know what is the request? They wanted to have a child. They wanted Krishna as a child, and they wanted to take care of Krishna as their own child. This is the difference between the request of Devaki and Vasudeva. Devaki and Vasudeva, what they asked for boon, they only want to have Narayan as their child. They did not mention that they wanted to take care. So that's why when you are going to wish, you have to be detailed. Yeah, you have to be specific. Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they specified. We wanted Krishna to be our child, and wanted to take care of Krishna as our own child. Okay, but they cannot take care of their own child, Krishna as their own child, if they have the knowledge that Krishna is the supreme. So, Yoga Maya, she always makes sure that she is blocking the mind of Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj and all Brajavasis about the supremacy, about the Godhead of Krishna. Godhood or Godhead, that Krishna is she makes sure that they will not think that Krishna is the supreme Godhead. Because why? Because it will affect the sweetness, the relationship. You see what happened to Devaki and Vasudeva? Because they know that Krishna is the supreme Godhead, they cannot immediately breastfeed him. Now the parents, when they gave birth, immediately they will give milk. But they did not, they bow down and they offer so many prayers. You see? So, this is the duty of Yoga Maya. She is making sure that the Brajavasis, they are not seeing Krishna as the supreme Godhead. Otherwise, the pastime will be affected. The sweetness of the pastime will be affected. They want them to see that Krishna is their friend, Krishna is their own child, Krishna is their own lover, to maintain the sweetness of the pastime in Braj. So this is the difference. They don't know that Krishna is supreme Godhead. Even though Krishna performs so many magical, extraordinary human activities, no? They still think, no, Krishna is our child. Okay, now. Okay, so now after exchanging, what happened? After exchanging, so Vasudeva took the baby girl. He took the baby girl. So now again, he has to cross again the Yamuna. So there is a thin, fine line that separates Mathura and Vrindavan. So this is very important because Mathura and Vrindavan, they are completely different from each other. Vrindavan is what? Sweet. Mathura is Aishwarya, Bhav. So the Bhav is very different. So there's a big difference between Mathura and Vrindavan. The rasa, the relationship is different. So the moment, listen, the moment Vasudeva crossed the borderline of Mathura and Vrindavan, Yoga Maya became what? Yoga Maya became Mahamaya. Because Mahamaya is in charge of material activities. And Yoga Maya, she always is staying in Vrindavan. So, now, Vasudeva is carrying Mahamaya. And who is Mahamaya? Who is in charge of material things? Durga. That's what happened when the child slipped from the hands of Kamsa, who appeared? Durga. So this is what happened. Huh? So now, let's fast forward. They came back and everybody woke up. Kamsa, all the guards, so they already knew, they heard the news that Devaki and Vasudeva gave birth to a child. So now, Kamsa knew that it's the eighth child, so he has to kill the child immediately. So he entered inside the dungeon, the prison cell, and he took the child, the baby girl. So, when Kamsa realized that it was a girl, he was surprised. Because he thought that it is a boy. Because how can a baby girl kill me? But still, he thought that maybe this is the trick of the demigod. They just only killing me. This child will also kill me. So immediately he grabbed the baby girl. Huh? It is just newly born. Imagine how delicate, how fragile the body of that baby. So he took it and it's about to smash it on the stone. But what happened? Huh?
It's slipping to his hand.
The baby girl slipped from his hands, and who appeared? Durga. What he said? What she said? Again, she said, Kamsa, you are fool. Huh?
Not the one who's gonna kill you.
The one who's gonna kill you already took birth somewhere in Vrindavan. Then after that, what happened to Durga? Huh? Where did she go? You know? She went to one mountain where Durga resides, no? But others, they said, others, they said that Durga, that Mahamaya, entered into the womb of Rohini. Huh? And who is that? When she entered in the womb of Rohini, she became who? She became Subhadra. Huh? Huh? That's why this is the relationship. So, Subhadra and Balaram, they are brothers and sisters. But because Krishna is also the son of Vasudeva, so they are all son of Vasudeva, because Rohini is the wife of Vasudeva. That's why they are all Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. They are all siblings. Huh? So this is another aspect. Okay, now we already know how Krishna appeared, how Balaram appeared. So let us see the demons which Balaram killed. So there are many, some, not many, only few demons Balaram killed. Some demons were killed in Braj. So I will only discuss those who were killed in Braj. But I will also tell you who are the other demons, but I will not discuss it further. Okay, the first demon is what? Who? So there is a place in Braj, they call it what? Talaban. So Talaban, that's another forest in Vrindavan. Tala means what? What is Tala? Tala is like a fruit, like a palm. No? It's like one variety of palm. It is so sweet. When it is ripe, you can smell the sweetness of that fruit. And the common boys, they can smell all the Tala fruits in Talaban. And they were so captivated. They said, we wanted to taste this fruit. But they were afraid to go to Talaban because it is being guarded by Dhenukasura. Who is Dhenukasura? What is the form of Dhenukasura? Ass demon. What is ass? Donkey. You know what is donkey? Small horse. Huh? Oh, like that. Huh? So they are afraid. So they asked Krishna and Balaram, we wanted to taste the fruit, please go there. Okay, so Balaram went there. Krishna asked Balaram to go there. So Balaram shake all the tala tree. And all the fruits, these palm fruits, they're all dropped by. And they started eating. The common boys started eating. And the demons, Dhenukasura, it is not only being guarded by Dhenukasura and all other friends of Dhenukasura, all other as demons. So, they heard the disturbance. Who is these people who dare to enter into our forest? Huh? So now, Krishna, so when Dhenukasura appeared, Krishna asked Balaram to take charge. You know what? Why Krishna did not kill Dhenukasura? Because Krishna is killing all the demons. But in this Dhenukasura, Krishna doesn't want to kill him. He asked Balaram to take charge. Why? What is the reason? Why Balaram did not kill Dhenukasura? Who knows the story? Okay. Because, let us go back to Lord Nisringadev. So Lord Prahlad Maharaj, he prayed to Lord Nisringadev. Lord Nisringadev gave him a boon. So Lord Nisringadev said, I will give you a boon. I will not kill anyone coming from your dynasty and your descendants. So from Prahlad Maharaj, Bali was born, and from Bali, so many demons was born. Because Prahlad, he appeared from the family of demons. So from Bali Maharaj, he begat so many children, and one of them is Dhenukasura. So since Dhenukasura is coming from the line of Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna doesn't want to kill him. Because Krishna, he has a word of honor. Especially when he gave food to his devotee, he will fulfill it no matter what, by whom or by group. So he asked Balaram to take charge. So when Balaram was there, when Dhenukasura saw Balaram, he is the one who is in charge in shaking all these trees. Immediately, Dhenukasura attacked Balaram. But Balaram, what he did, he hold the legs of Dhenukasura and started to wheel around and throw it on the top of all the tala tree. So it's like a domino. One tree fall into another tree and like that. So all the trees fall down. Then after killing Dhenukasura, Krishna appeared again to kill all the friends of Dhenukasura. Now he can kill the demon because my only promise is not to kill anyone coming from your dynasty. So now they killed Dhenukasura. See, they're all passed there on the top of the tala tree. So this pastime is the killing of Dhenukasura. And all other friends of Dhenukasura, Krishna started to kill them. Okay. So who is the next demon? Who is this?
Pralambasura.
No, this is not gorilla. This is who? Pralambasura. Who is Pralambasura? In what form he appeared? No. Yeah, he appeared as a gopa. Like a cowherd boy. No, he entered into the cowherd place of Krishna because they were playing. So they were playing near the moon. So what is the condition?
He will carry you.
So if you are defeated, then he will carry you. So two teams, Balaram and Krishna. Because Pralambasura, he is afraid of Krishna. So he went to the side of Balaram. So the team of Balaram wins. No. Pralambasura, he was afraid of Krishna. So he sided to the team of Krishna. So the team of Krishna, they were defeated. That's why they have to carry the team of Balaram. So Pralambasura, he carried Balaram on his shoulder. Then what happened? So he's trying to get away and escape from the scene because he's about to kill Balaram first. But what happened? Balaram became so heavy, no?
He became so heavy like a mountain.
Yes, like he became so heavy like a mountain that he cannot move. Then Balaram knew that he is a demon. So he started to manifest his original form, his real demoniac form. Before he was like a coward boy, a innocent boy. Then again he appeared like this, demoniac features. Then Balaram struck him at the head, and he immediately died. Okay, so this is how Pralambasura was killed. Now, so what is this? We will talk about later. So these are the two demons which Balaram killed in blood. Dhenukasura and Pralambasura. So when Krishna and Balaram went to Dwarka, but because Balaram he did not join the Mahabharata, no? So he started doing pilgrimage. He traveled all over pilgrimage site. He went to the south. Where did he went? Who is from the south? What are the pilgrimage? Ramsetu, Ranganath, Venkataswar, Balaji. And what is the Mathura of south? Where is it? The Mathura of south, India. Madurai. He went also to Kerala. So he visited all the holy places in south. Then he went to Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, he stayed there for 2 months. So, in 2 months, he pacified the parents of Krishna and all Brajabasis. So, he talked to the gopis of Krishna and he pacified them to just relax because they were crying for so many years now. They did not see Krishna. So, parang try to pacify them. And, okay, during the month around March, April, Balaram also, he has a separate group of gopis. So, the gopis of Balaram is different from the gopis of Krishna. Okay? So, he has a separate group of gopis. So, now, that is the time where Balaram enjoyed with his gopis. So, Balaram met his gopis. And they started also the rasa dance. He also has his own rasa lila. So, and they were dancing. And Varuna wanted to serve Balaram. So, Varuna sent his daughter Varuni in the form of what? Honey. In the form of honey. So, the honey is dripping from the trees. And Varuna was so captivated, they started drinking the honey. Even the gopis. And this honey is very special honey. It is so intoxicating. Then the eyes of Balaram started rolling like he was like highly intoxicated. You know, there was a documentary in, they documented how these people from Nepal, they have to travel, endure, they have to, what do you call this? They have to hike to go on the top of the mountain. Difficult terrain and difficult trails in the mountain. And it is hanging on the cliff. So they have to make stairs in order to get or take out the honey that dripping out or hanging in at the bottom of the cliff. They have to sacrifice. It's a big risk. So, and when the moment they are getting the honey, all the bees started, what do you call it? Stinging them. They started to sting them. And now this is the most expensive honey in the world because it is so highly intoxicated. Only 1 drop of that honey you will get high. How? Because these bees from that area, they are getting this nectar from a very rare flower that is only grown on that area in Nepal, that mountainous area. And that flower, it has a substance that is highly intoxicated. That's why when the bees touches this, so what? When they are eating it, and the honey is coming out from their body. So that same substance, they transmitted in the honey. It's like become concentrated. So it's become more intoxicating. So whoever will take it, they will be like intoxicated. It's like a drugs. And people are buying it. So, yeah, this is still. So, this is the same honey, It's like the same, see? We might be thinking, how can you be intoxicated by honey? But it is true when you drink even ordinary honey. But that you will get diabetes, this honey. Because it is only what? It is only sugar, It is not real honey. But real honey will really get intoxicated. So this is what happened to them. They're like intoxicated. Balaram and all the gopis. So now, they are playing. So there is Yamuna. Yamuna is playing here. But Balaram, because he became intoxicated, so amazing. He doesn't want to go to near Yamuna. So he got Yamuna. So who is this? This is Yamuna Devi. So if you see a picture of this is Yamuna Devi. Why he was praying to Lord Balaram? What did she do? So Balaram called Yamuna, come here. Come here, I want to take part. Come. And Yamuna was like, oh, this Balaram is intoxicated. What is this? So, she did not, agree to the request of Balaram. So what happened? Balaram took this cloud, and he dragged Yamuna. So, he dragged Yamuna, and Yamuna produces thousands of streams, cooked streams, just to come near to Balaram. And the moment that Balaram showed his anger, so Yamuna realized that she committed offenses. So she, again, appeared to Balaram and asked for forgiveness. So Balaram immediately forgave her. But the damage are already been done. They are already become crooked. So when you go to Braj, there is one place they call it Ramgat. Ramgat. Gat means a bathing place. So Ram means Lord Balaram's bathing place. So when you go there, you will still see the different streams coming out from Yamuna. So if you go to Vrindavan, you will visit this Ramgat. Okay, this is what happened to Yamuna. Okay, see? The eyes of Balaram, he was really so angry, intoxicated. But Yamuna, because she just submitted humbly, and Balaram immediately. Okay, now there are other demons who was killed by Balaram outside Braj. I will not discuss this further. Who is this gorilla demon? Who? What is the name of gorilla demon? We forgot again. This is Dwivida demon. He was killed in Dwarka. You know this demon. So when, later this is very funny demon. So when this demon is very naughty. This demon is very naughty. So when this demon, when he went to Dwarka and he saw Balaram, he was playing with his queens. This demon went near the queens and he started acting like crazy. He started showing his teeth and doing like this. And you know what? He showed his genitals to the queens of Balaram. So Balaram was so angry because of this demon. This is very like disrespectful, without manners. You are ruthless. We are very rude. Exhibitionist. So Balaram started smashing the chest of Dwivida demon and he killed that demon. And there's another demon carrying a trident. Who is this demon? Who is this demon? And what is this? There is a fire sacrifice. Who knows the name of this demon? This happened when? Where? Okay, I will tell you later. Before Balaram killed this demon, first he killed one personality. Who is the personality before he killed this demon? Who is this? Who is this? Sitting in Vyasasan. Who knows the name? Who is this demon? This is not a demon. He is not a demon. He is a sage. He is a Brahmana. But Balaram killed this Brahmana. It's a very elevated personality. This happened in Naimisaranya. Naimisaranya is the place where they discuss the Bhagavatam. Who is this demon? This is Romaharsan Sutta. This is not a demon. Sorry. Romaharsan Sutta is a very elevated personality. It's a Brahmana. So the sages are gathering. So they asked Romaharsan Sutta to speak Bhagavatam. So when Balaram he was on pilgrimage, he went to Braj and on other pilgrimage. Then he reached Naimisaranya forest. Naimisaranya is a very holy place. Then the moment he reached the forest, all the sages, they offer obeisances. They bow down. Except for one personality. Who? Romaharsan Sutta did not offer obeisances. So to teach him, so even though you are representing Vyasadeva, even though you are sitting on Vyasasan, in the personality of Godhead, because Balaram and Krishna is not different. This is the personality of Godhead. You are talking about the Bhagavan, you are talking about the personality of Godhead. But he appeared in front of you. Then you did not offer obeisances. So, to teach them, the sages, that he committed great offense, Balaram took, what is this? What is that? What did he took? It's a blade of grass. That is kusa grass. It's just a blade of grass. And he strike Romaharsan Sutta. Immediately he died. Then the Brahmanas or the sages, they were shocked. How could he kill a Brahmana? But they also knew that Balaram is supreme Godhead. So they were confused. They wanted to clear about the actions that he just performed. Then he explained, no? Balaram explained to them that I am the supreme Godhead. That you must offer respect, or you cannot offer. He is so pumped up that he was thinking that because he was sitting as a son, he was thinking he became also like the supreme. He did not offer of respect. Okay, we understand, we understood. But how could be that the katha will continue? You interfere with the katha, with the deliverance of the scriptures. So now, to solve the dilemma of the sages, Balaram told them, okay, we will install, if you like, I can, this is what he said, if you like, I can reinstated his life. I can bring him back to life. But the Brahmanas, they understood that it is already the will of the destiny, that it is already done, so there's no need. So they don't want, no, there's no need. So Balaram, he just thought, okay, because the father and the son is non-different, so I will just install his son, Suta Goswami, to continue the recitation of Bhagavatam. Huh? So that's why in Bhagavatam, there are two speakers. One is Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami, he is speaking not in Ahimsaranya forest. He is speaking what? In Sukatan. That is another place in India, near Ganga. And Suta Goswami is speaking in Ahimsaranya. That's why when you read Bhagavatam, sometimes Suta Goswami said, Sukadev Goswami said like this, because that story goes on, how we got that story. So now, Balaram installed the son of Maharsan Suta, Sukadev Goswami, to continue. But again, Balaram knew that he killed a Brahmana, so he wanted to make atonement with his sin. So, he asked the blessing of the sages. Please bless me and tell me what to do so I can atone my simple my simple actions. So the sages, they talk to each other. So they said, you continue your pilgrimage for 12 months, then you will be free from sin of killing the Brahman. And another is, you mitigate our anxiety by killing a demon, because there is one demon who constantly disturbing our fire sacrifices, who is disturbing our yagya. And this demon, the name of demon, who is that demon? What is the name of that demon? Huh? This demon with trident, his name is Balbala. So this Balbala demon, what he is doing? He is throwing urine, stool, pus, wine to the sacrificial arena of the Brahmanas. So he is contaminating, polluting their fire sacrifice, their activities. That's why they cannot continue. So the Brahmanas, they don't know what to do. Now this is their chance. This is their chance to solve their problem. So they ask Balaram to kill this demon. So now Balaram saw the demon flying in the sky. Immediately summoned this weapon. What's the weapon of Balaram? The plow and club. So club, actually it's not a club. It's like a musan. Musan, like a pagbayo, no, in the field, to separate the husk from the grain, no. So there's another kind of club. They call it musan. And another weapon is plow. And what is the weapon of Krishna? What Krishna always hold? Flute. So Krishna always hold flute and plays flute to attract the devotees, to attract his devotees for his sweet pastime. And Balaram, he is on the plow, what? For what? What is the purpose of the plow? The purpose of that plow is to cultivate our heart. You know the plow, when you are going to plant something or to plant a seed from a field, you have to cultivate it, you have to plow it, you know. So it will become fertile. No, so the seed can grow easily. You have to make it soft, no, because it is a barren land. It's like so this is what he is doing. Balaram is like plowing our heart, our barren heart, our stone-like heart. It's like an iron-casted heart to become soft. Huh? Huh? But still, we cannot depend on Balaram to do the job. You still have to do your own part. Balaram will plow it, but you have to still do your own part to make it soft. That's why until now we cannot make it soft. Our heart is still hard. So pusong bato. Kailangan maging pusong mamon. Ito siya na pusong mamon. Ha? Okay, so this is the weapon of Balaram to plow our heart. To become so in order for the seed of bhakti to grow, because if our heart is so hard, the seed of bhakti will not grow. That's why it will always remain a seed. Even a little bit of sprout is not coming out. Because how can a sprout come out if it is covered by the stone? So you have to take out. What are these stones? Lust, anger, greed, envy. So these are the stones of the heart. Greed. So if we are possessing this kind of anarthas or unwanted behavior or attitude, then the seed of bhakti will not grow. It will just remain covered. Although the seed is there, it is already planted. We have chanted so many Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are chanting every day. You are reading as you are devotee. The seed is there, but you have to do your part. You have to make it soft. Try to get rid of this enviousness, greediness, hatred, and all these things. We always have this, you know. All of us have this. You can see it every day. Okay, let's go back now. So this is Barbara. That is his activities. He always polluted and contaminate the sacrificial arena of the Brahmanas. He throw stool, urine, you know. So now Balaram dragging. He is flying in the sky. He is trying to drag him with his plow and drag him on the floor and kill him. Bas. So finally, the Brahmanas were so happy, they get rid of these nasty activities, you know. So, and the sacrificial arena is now pure. Okay, so that's it for the demons. We already discussed all the demons and the martial. Okay. We ended up the pastime of Balaram. But there's another figure here. So I will just tell you something. Okay, in Braj, there is, like what I told you, the temples are called, what? Of Balaram. What they call? Dauji Mandir. So it's not Balaram Mandir, They call Dauji. Dauji, elder brother. So this is a Dauji Mandir in Braj. It is located in Baldeyo or Balde. So what are the three names of Balaram? So when Gadamuni started the name giving ceremony, what are the three names he gave to Balaram? First, because he is strong. This boy, he is so strong. He possesses all the strength. He will be called as Baladev. Bala means strength. Then because he was transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini, so he was attracted from the womb of Devaki to Rohini. He is called Sankarshan. That's the meaning of Sankarshan. One was being attracted from the other womb. And because he will give pleasure to your devotees and to the resident of Braj, he will be called Ram. Ram is pleasure. So these are the three names: Baladev, Sankarshan, and Ram. Okay, so there is a village in Braj, they call it Baldeyo. From the word Baladev, Baldeyo. So there is the a temple of Daudi. So this is the temple of Daudi. And this deity of Daudi is a very huge deity. It is like 2 meters deity, like 6 feet. And it is blackish. No? Because Balaram is what? What is the color of Balaram? Huh? In Krishna Balaram temple, what is the color of Balaram? White. Balaram is white and Krishna is black. So how come that the deity of Balaram is black? Because Balaram was so absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, he became black. Huh? So this deity, that is why the color of this Murti of Balaram is black. And this is one of the original. This is one of the original deity in Vrindavan. So most of the deities in Vrindavan, Murtis in Vrindavan, they are no longer in Vrindavan. Where are they now? Anyone knows? Jaipur. So, Vajranabh, the great son of Krishna, when Krishna disappeared after 100 years, all the Brajavasis, they felt so much separation from Krishna. They wanted to see Krishna. So they asked Vajranabh, please make a murti of Krishna. And after 100 years, most of the personalities living who saw Krishna, they already gone. And there's only one remain, one personality who remained, who saw Krishna. And who is that? Huh? Who is that one personality? From that time, after 100 years, that is Uttara. Who is Uttara? Uttara is the mother of King Parikshit. Huh? Mother Uttara. Okay. So it's the only one who witnessed Krishna. So they call the architect, the sculptor. Who is the sculptor of the demigod, Vishwakarma. So they asked Vishwakarma to take guidance from Uttara. So this is how Krishna looks like. Okay, now after creating, so this is a special stone from Braj. They call this stone as Braj also. It's like a black rich stone. That's why most of the earlier deities in Braj, they were carved in a black stone. So that's another reason. So they call this stone as Braj. So, Vishwakarma or Vajranabh, he asked Vishwakarma to stop to create a murti of Krishna. So the first batch, so he created 3 murti of Krishna. The first murti is the murti of Govindaji. Huh? Where is Govindaji now? In Jaipur. That is the most famous temple in Jaipur. It is the center of the city. All the people, early in the morning before they go to the work, before they start their morning duties, they will all go to the temple. If you go to the temple of Govindaji, every morning it's like festival. So many people, they go to Govindaji, they pray every day. So that original deity of Govindaji is already transferred in Jaipur. But originally it is in Vrindavan. That's why there is a temple there, Govinda Dev Temple. So, when this Govindaji Murti, when Uttara, Mother Uttara saw the Murti of Govindaji, she said, the lotus feet of Govindaji perfectly resembles the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, good. So now, we presented the next Murti. Who is the next Murti? You have? Who is the next Murti? Ah, no, sorry, my mistake. Actually, the first Murti, Madan Mohan. Ha? Madan Mohan Ji. Madan Gopal. So, Madan Gopal, the lotus feet of Madan Gopal perfectly resembles the lotus feet of Krishna. So, Madan Gopal later on, his name became Madan Mohan. You know, in the perfect question, perfect answer, there's a temple there in the cover. That is Madan Mohan Temple. That is the temple of Madan Mohan. But now this Madan Mohan, deity of Krishna, is already transferred again in Jaipur, not in Jaipur, but it is part of Rajasthan in Karoli. Karoli is another town in Rajasthan. Okay, so presented the second. So the lotus feet of Madan Mohan perfectly resembles the lotus feet of Krishna. Now, Govindaji was presented. The chest after the navel of Govindaji, this is the right description. The chest after the navel of Govindaji perfectly resembles the chest and the navel of Krishna. Now, the third Murti is Gopinath Ji. So Gopinath Ji again is not in Vrindavan anymore. He is also in Jaipur. You see, so many Vrindavan deities, they were transferred to Jaipur. Why? Because when the Muslim Aurangzeb, these Mughals, when they attacked Vrindavan, they destroyed all the temples and they wanted to destroy all the murtis. Actually, they destroyed some of the murtis. But because Jaipur, the king is like a very brave king, they are Raja Rishi. So they took all the murtis of Krishna and they secured it in Jaipur. So these invaders, Muslim invaders, they cannot invade Jaipur. Because when you go to Jaipur, it is strategically built against the invaders. It is surrounded by rivers. And it is on the top of the mountain. You know when you saw these different movies, like when there is a war between different kingdoms, how they strategically located their kingdoms, there is a big wall and it's surrounded by different levels of walls. So it is like that. So it's like you are entering into medieval era. So these kings are very brave. They cannot go there in Jaipur. So it was securely and protected. So now, when Uttara saw the Murti of Gopinath Ji, she said, the lotus face of Gopinath Ji perfectly resembles the lotus face of Krishna. So now what the devotees are doing when they are going to take darshan of all the deities of Krishna, original deities of Krishna in Vrindavan, when they will go to Rajasthan, first they will go to Karoli to take darshan of Madan Mohan. So see, even later devotion, there is a process how to take darshan of Krishna. First you take darshan of lotus feet, you take darshan of the navel, chest, and the lotus face. So they will go to Madan Mohan temple, then they will go to Govindaji temple, then they will go to Gopinath Ji temple. So in one day you can complete this darshan. And if you completed this darshan, it's like seeing Krishna face to face. And there is one Murti in Vrindavan that perfectly resembles all the features of Krishna. And that is Radha Raman Devi. Later on we will discuss that. Radha Raman is a self-manifested deity from Sanagarsi. I think I already discussed this a little bit, but okay. So now, Vasaranav, now he has 3 deities of Krishna. So Vasaranav, actually, he created 16 main deities. He created 16 main murtis. So this was like 5,000 after 100 years. So there are 4 there. Original deities are 4 there. Govinda Dev, Keshav Dev. Keshav Dev is originally in Mathura, but now he's somewhere in Uttar Pradesh. Then Govinda Dev, Keshav Dev, then there is Baladev. So this is Baladev. So this is one of the original murtis created 5,000 years ago. So when you go to Braj, be sure that you will go to Baldev to see the original murti of Balaram. Baldev. Okay. Then there is 2 Nath, Gopinath and who? Srinath Ji. Who is Srinath? Srinath is Gopal. Before he was residing in the top of Govardhan. You know the story of Madhavendra, is a very long story. The time is not enough. Then he was transferred to Srinath. Srinath Ji. 2 Nath, Gopinath and Srinath. Then there are 2 Gopal. Madan Gopal and Saksi Gopal. You know the story of Saksi Gopal from Vrindavan. He went to Orissa to become the witness of this Brahmana. Because there are 2 Brahmans. One very wealthy Brahman, very old, and one poor Brahman. He assisted this wealthy Brahman in his pilgrimage to Vrindavan. Then he promised this poor Brahman that he will give his daughter but he promised in front of Gopal, because before it was Gopal in Vrindavan. So when they went back to Orissa, this Brahman, he forget his promise, he doesn't want to fulfill. But he promised, I have a witness. Who is your witness? The deity. Okay, you bring your deity, you bring Krishna. So, but this poor Brahman, he is very eager. So he went back to Vrindavan. So he asked, please, Krishna, please come with me. You are my only witness. You should witness. And Krishna spoke. Okay, I will come to you after Orissa. But I have one condition. Do not look at the back. But how I will know that you are following me? You will hear my anklet tinkling. So in that way, you knew that I am at your back. So they started their journey. Vrindavan to Orissa. If you take train, the speed, the fastest train, it will take like 20 hours. So before, there's no train, there's no car. So they have to walk for a month, for so many days. But, so this poor Brahmana, he was hearing the tinkling. But before they reached the village, suddenly there was no tinkling. So this Brahmana, he was thinking, oh, maybe Krishna is not following me. So when he turned around, he saw Krishna became a Murti. So before Krishna, the real Krishna who is speaking, but at least Krishna was there. So when he called all the villagers, so they were surprised that Krishna was there. And that wealthy Brahman, so he fulfilled his promise, because they are already like make a deal that if Krishna appeared, he has to fulfill, and Krishna appeared. So on that spot, they built a temple of who? Saksi Gopal. Prabhuji, you are from Orissa, you know this temple, yes, you know the old story. Yeah. So now they call it Saksi Gopal. Saksi means same. Yeah, Jehovah's Witness, Saksi. So see, Saksi is a Sanskrit word. They call it Saksi Gopal, the witness Gopal. So he was married. Okay, let's go. Okay, last. Yeah.
He was, committed, to the
Yeah. Huh?
He was not a good.
Yeah. Yes, the son. Yes, that is another long story. I did not give the details. Actually, the son doesn't want to give the daughter. So, okay, one last thing. One more last thing, okay. So, this is another, this is the largest murti of Balaram in Vrindavan. It's not so famous, not so many devotees, they know this temple. But the locals, they know it. So, this is a Bade Dauji. Bada means what? Bada means big. Huh? Bade. So, Bade Dauji, this is the biggest Dauji murti. It is so big, maybe it's like more than 6 feet. Okay, so this is our story. Originally, this murti of Bade Dauji, he resides from the premises of Gopindaji temple. So, Gopindaji temple. So, who discovered the Gopindaji deity of Krishna? Because after when Vatsalav created all this deity, also after some time it was lost. Everything was lost. During Lord Chaitanya's time, all the pastime places of Krishna was lost. All the murtis of Krishna was lost, was hidden. So this is Lord Chaitanya's mission. He instructed the 6 Goswamis and other Goswamis to go to Vrindavan to discover, to excavate and discover the murtis of Krishna. And he personally told Rupa Goswami to search for Govindaji, because these are the most important deities for the Vaishnavas, for the followers of Lord Chaitanya. Madan Mohan, Govindaji and Gopinath. That's why in the song, Shri Govinda, Gopinath, Madana, Mohana. These are the most important deities. Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. But it was lost. So, Lord Chaitanya personally instructed Rupa Goswami to look for Govindaji deity. Huh? So when Lord Rupa Goswami went to Vrindavan, he searched all over Braj. From door to door, he was looking for Govinda Ji. Where's Govinda Ji? Where's Govinda Ji? Maybe some locals, they kept him, but they cannot find. So, he was crying on the side of Yamuna. Day and night, he was crying. Then one day, one coward boy came. One boy came. He asked, "Why are you crying?" So, Rupa Goswami responded. He said, "Because my spiritual master instructed me to search for Govinda Ji, but I couldn't fulfill I couldn't find or fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. That's why I am crying. Don't worry, I know where Govinda Ji was hiding." So, in that area, there is a small hill. They call it Gotila. So, in that hill, every morning, in that hill, a cow is going up on that hill, and that cow is pouring out her milk on that top of the hill. And after that, that cow will leave. So you go to that hill. So, and you will find Govinda Ji. So, when Rupa Goswami heard this, on the following day, Rupa Goswami, he told all the Brajavasis, "Let us go to this side. And when we see that the cow comes there, and when she put her milk, we have to excavate it." Brajavasis, they don't want to believe. Because how can you put me? Why the cow will put his milk there? But they went there. So they went there. They waited for the cow. So after waiting for some time, a cow came. And that cow went to that one spot on the top of that hill, and she started pouring out her milk. So now they understand something is beneath that surface. So they started digging that. And they found out what? The Murti of Govinda Ji. So Rupa Goswami was so happy that finally Govinda Ji appeared before him. So Rupa Goswami established the temple of Govinda Ji. And in that, when they excavated Govinda Ji, they also found other three deities. They found the deity of Yoga Maya. Then they found another deity of Hanumanji. And they found a huge deity of Baditauji Maharaj. So these four deities, they reside on the premises of Govinda Ji temple. But during the attack of the invaders, the Yogamaya deity is very small. They hide it in the one kunda, in Brahmakund. Then the Hanuman deity, they hide it in one house. Govinda deity, they transferred to Jaipur. Then, because it is so big, Baditauji, it's so big, it is very difficult for them to hide. First, they try to hide it in one house of Brajavasi. So, now the queen, one queen in Jaipur, she heard that the Dauji is still there, was still there in Vrindavan. So they wanted to bring them also to Jaipur to keep it safe. So this queen, she started an entourage to Vrindavan to bring Dauji. So they found out Dauji. Now they have the cart. They put the cart there. So on the following morning, they couldn't move the cart even an inch. They couldn't budge an inch. So the queen was surprised. So because it was carried by a camel, and now they try to solve the problem. They try to bring an elephant, but still they couldn't move. So they rushed. So on that night, Dauji appeared in the dream of the queen. He said, "You can bring Balaram outside Braj because he is the Lord of the universe. He can reside anywhere outside." That was Jagannath. No? He is Dauji Maharaj ki jai. Before we go for Julan Yatra, I will just give you a little bit of pastime about Julan Yatra. So, in this time, because this time in Brindaban, when the season started to arrive. So, in order to create some breeze, no, to relieve Radha and Krishna from extreme. Kadamba tree is very soft. You can break easily. So, Imli tree, Imli is what? Imli is tamarind. Sampalok. So, this is very special place. Sampalok or Imli or tamarind, it is specially connected to Krishna's pastime. In Vrindavan, there is one special temple. They call it Imli Tala, Imli Mandir. Tala means tree. Okay. So, they hang a special rope. Actually, it's not a rope. It is like a vine. It's like a roots. They hang it on the branch of the tree, and then they created like a julan. So, first, Krishna was seated in the julan, and they invited Radharani. Radharani doesn't want to sit, no? Because he has bad experience with Krishna before. Before, they already had swing pastime. And Krishna always, try to swing, to keep the swing so much high that she is almost about to fall. So that's why now she doesn't like. But Krishna promised, no, I will just keep it very slow and not so high. And Radharani, okay, I will sit. So now, the two couples, they are sitting together. The gopis, Lalita Saki, Visakha Saki, Chitraleka, Ranga Devi, and all. Who are the 8 Saki? Who knows? The 8 Saki. When you go to Mayapur temple, we have Radha Madhava and the 4 Sakis on the left and 4 Sakis on the right. You should know their names. Chitraleka. First, Lalita and Visakha. Chitra, Ranga, Tungabija, what else? Induleka. Okay. 8 na ba yun? 6 pa lang? Lalita, Visakha, Chitra, Indu, Tungabija, Ranga, who else? You search on Google. Okay. So, all the Sakis, they started swinging. The two couples. Okay, first, it is so slow. One by one, they shift. First, Lalita, then Visakha, then Tungabija, Induleka, Chitraleka. So, one by one, they exchange and exchange. So they swing. And because everyone, they were so engrossed, they were so happy that Radha and Krishna were enjoying. So they forget about Krishna. Now Krishna started to kick his feet. You know, when you swing, you have to sway your feet in order to increase the pace and the speed. So Krishna started kicking his feet. Now, the pace started to move faster. Again, faster and faster until it becomes half circle. So Radharani started to become frightened. And Krishna started moving and moving so fast. So Radharani, she was so frightened, and she started to put her arms around Krishna. And you know what Krishna did? He pushed it so hard that it goes in a full circle. So the moment it goes, Radharani embraced Krishna with her 2 hands. So then he was so afraid. Please stop, please stop. Then Krishna stopped. The moment it was stopped, the gopis never stopped because Radharani was embracing Krishna. And they were surprised and they were so happy and they were clapping their hands. Radharani, suddenly he realized, oh, what's going on? Who is this? Then Radharani break away away from Krishna. And she went, I don't want to be with Krishna. See what she did? Now it's your turn. So now Radharani gave other gopis a chance to also swim with Krishna. So first Lalita, then Visakha, and all other gopis. They started swimming Radha and Krishna. Okay? Okay. Sri Balaram ki jai. Jai Yatra ki jai. Sri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Okay, let us start Yula Yatra Aarti, whatever.